Chapter 1, Welcome to Harmony. The sun rose over the newly established Harmony Correctional Facility, casting a promising glow on its modern architecture, designed to embody reform and hope. This was not just a prison, it was a sanctuary for second chances. The warden's inaugural diary entry captured the vision behind Harmony, a place where rehabilitation thrived over punishment, where therapy, education, and community service would replace fear and isolation. As the warden walked through the halls, he envisioned a future where guards built relationships with inmates, fostering an environment of mutual respect. Each cell was a canvas awaiting the vibrant stories of those within. The distinct voices of the incarcerated could finally echo with purpose. Harmony was a bold experiment, a potential beacon of change in an often bleak penal system. As the doors opened and the first inmates entered, an air of anticipation lingered. Could this be the beginning of something truly transformative? Chapter 2, The Sound of Silence. Isaac Ike Thompson sits alone in his cell, the stark walls amplifying the silence he now faces, a far cry from the vibrant life he once knew as a budding musician. As he picks up a pencil, the weight of his past presses heavily on him. His diary entry reflects on the cacophony of his former life, filled with melodies, laughter, and the chaotic noise of addiction. Music was his refuge, a language that spoke to his soul, but it ultimately led him down a dark path, entangled in crime and despair. With each stroke of the pencil, he recalls the highs of performing on stage, the euphoric rush of applause, and the deep lows of addiction that consumed him. In this silence, he grapples with residual echoes of regret, promising himself that he won't let this stillness extinguish the music within. The journey toward healing begins as he yearns to reclaim his voice and identity. Chapter 3, Breaking the Chains. Luna Ramirez takes a deep breath as she opens her diary, contemplating her life before incarceration. Once a fierce member of a local gang, she recalls the adrenaline and power that accompanied her choices, but also the isolation and fear of being labeled a criminal. In her diary entry, she writes about the struggles of navigating a male-dominated environment within the prison walls, where perceptions of femininity often clash with raw survival instincts. Education becomes her escape. She diligently pursues classes that ignite her passion for learning and empower her to redefine her identity. Luna reflects on how breaking free from societal labels is as crucial as breaking physical chains. As she pens her thoughts, Luna understands that knowledge is her greatest weapon against the stigma that surrounds her. Her words are a declaration of resilience, a promise to herself that her past doesn't define her future, and that her voice deserves to be heard. Chapter 4, Rising from the Ashes. Marcus M.J. Jackson reflects on his tumultuous past as a gang leader, a life steeped in violence and lawlessness. Through his diary, he grapples with the weight of guilt that clings to him like a shadow. Once feared and respected, MJ now finds himself in a place where he can influence change rather than instigate chaos. His redemption journey begins in the most unexpected way, by becoming a mentor to fellow inmates. In his latest entry, MJ describes the first tutoring session he led, where he witnessed reluctant learners transform as they embraced education. The laughter, the questions, the shared acknowledgement of their past mistakes filled the room with an energy he had never imagined inside these walls. Each interaction leaves him invigorated yet introspective, as he confronts the man he was against, the man he aspires to be. In this transformation, MJ discovers not only his purpose, but a path toward healing. Chapter 5, A Comic Tragedy. In the dim light of his cell, Charlie Chap Chaplin reflects on his former life as a white-collar criminal, caught up in the whirlwind of a Ponzi scheme that spiraled beyond control. His diary entry reveals a mix of humor and regret, capturing the absurdity of his past choices. "It's ironic," he writes. "I thought I was creating wealth, but all I really built was a prison of my own making." As he recounts the high-stakes meetings and lavish parties, Chap shifts to the stark reality of prison life, where the weight of solitude looms large. Yet in typical Chap fashion, he infuses his reflections with wit, joking about the strange camaraderie formed between inmates over shared meals and bleak circumstances. Through laughter, he discovers a sense of connection and acceptance, and as he turns the page, he contemplates what true freedom means, beyond wealth and deceit, towards authenticity and self-worth. Chapter 6, Words of Healing. As the sound of the prison gates clanged shut behind him, Ike Thompson felt the weight of silence enveloping him, a stark contrast to the chaotic rhythms of his past life. Today marked the beginning of his journey into music therapy, a lifeline stretched out amidst the despair of incarceration. His first diary entry captures the blend of excitement and trepidation as he sits in a small room surrounded by fellow inmates, guitars resting awkwardly on their laps. With trembling fingers, he strums the strings, unleashing melodies that resonate with pain and longing. The tears he once suppressed flow freely as he writes, each lyric a reflection of his struggles and hopes. Conversations with his peers reveal the healing power of shared vulnerability, allowing them to connect beyond their crimes. Music becomes more than a hobby. It is a source of redemption, a bridge to understanding and healing the wounded souls trapped behind bars. Chapter 7, Lessons in the Classroom. Marcus M.J. Jackson sat at a worn wooden table in the prison classroom, surrounded by a group of eager faces. The scars of their pasts were evident, but so was their curiosity, a flicker of hope ignited by the promise of education. MJ flipped open his notebook, filled with stories from the streets that he now transformed into life lessons. His diary entry that evening recounts the moment when one inmate, a former drug dealer, shared his desire to become a mechanic. The enthusiasm in the room was palpable. They were no longer defined by their pasts, but by the potential of their futures. MJ reflected on the significance of these interactions, how knowledge had become a bridge connecting their fragmented lives. As he encouraged open discussions, he marveled at the transformation taking place. Education wasn't merely about academics. It was about healing fractured identities and fostering a sense of self-worth amidst the chaos of confinement. Chapter 8, The Harmony of Voices. In the dim lights of the communal area, Luna Ramirez felt a surge of anticipation as she organized the first poetry reading night at Harmony Correctional Facility. Her diary entry captures the electrifying atmosphere as inmates gathered, a mix of anxiety and excitement buzzing in the air. Each participant, whether seasoned performer or trembling novice, was encouraged to share their truths. Luna opened the night, reciting a poem about resilience in the face of adversity. As her words echoed, the room fell into a hushed reverence, amplifying the courage of each inmate who took the stage. From heartfelt verses about lost dreams to raw reflections on regret, every performance chipped away at the walls they'd built around themselves. Through collective vulnerability, Luna sensed an unbreakable bond forming among the inmates. As the final applause faded, she realized that sharing their stories was more than just an act of art. It was an affirmation of their shared humanity and the hope for change. Chapter 9, The Tipping Point. Tensions simmer beneath the surface at Harmony Correctional Facility as management pressures mount, threatening the very foundation of its reform initiative. Inmates feel the weight of uncertainty in their diary entries, expressing fear that the openness and support they've built might be dismantled. Marcus M.J. Jackson reflects on the delicate balance of trust among inmates, aware that any misstep could shatter their newfound hope. The mood shifts dramatically when a violent altercation erupts in the yard, overshadowing the harmony that had been so painstakingly cultivated. Panic spreads as guards rush to restore order, leaving inmates rattled and questioning their safety. As diary entries reveal the rising anxiety, they also spark conversations about resilience and solidarity in the face of adversity. MJ's voice emerges as a beacon of strength, urging his peers to channel their frustrations into something positive. One last push towards unity before the storm. Chapter 10, Lockdown. The mood within Harmony Correctional Facility shifted dramatically following the violent altercation. As sirens screamed and guards rushed to contain the chaos, a palpable sense of fear gripped the inmates. In the darkened cells, Ike Thompson penned his thoughts, his heart racing with uncertainty. "The silence after the storm is deafening," he wrote, echoing a sentiment shared by many. Luna Ramirez wrote of her deep-seated fears, grappling with the isolation that lockdown imposed. "Connection was our lifeline," she expressed, lamenting the absence of the community they had worked so hard to build. Marcus M.J. Jackson, too, felt the weight of despair, reflecting on the fragility of their progress. Each diary entry revealed the hunger for connection, emphasizing their humanity in the face of punitive structures. As hours turned into days, the inmates clung to fleeting memories of laughter and camaraderie, yearning for the day they could reclaim their fragile hope. Chapter 11. The Underground Concert. As the sun dipped below the prison walls, casting long shadows across the exercise yard, Ike's heart raced with anticipation. The lockdown hadn't quelled their spirits. Instead, it had ignited a defiant spark. He had gathered a small group of inmates who shared his passion for music. Improvised instruments littered the makeshift stage, cardboard boxes, plastic bottles, and old mops. In his diary, Ike poured out his emotions, writing about the electric atmosphere humming with hope and solidarity. "Tonight, we're not just inmates, we're a band," he penned, feeling the weight of past failures lifting as laughter and music intertwined. As the first notes resonated through the yard, even skeptical guards began to sway, breaking the barrier between authority and inmate. Voices rose in unison, echoing tales of loss, love, and resilience. This act of unity would redefine their reality, revealing that even in confinement, creativity could flourish and dreams could awaken anew. Chapter 12. Breaking Barriers. The underground concert reverberates through the concrete walls of Harmony Correctional Facility, signaling a pivotal moment for the inmates and guards alike. As the last notes of Ike's makeshift band fade into the night, the atmosphere is charged with newfound camaraderie. Diary entries from various inmates express a mix of exhilaration and disbelief at the bonds formed through this shared experience. MJ reflects on how the concert shattered preconceived notions about his fellow inmates, witnessing the humanity behind their pasts. Luna finds herself sharing smiles and laughter with guards who had been mere authority figures until now. She writes about the magic of connection transcending barriers, fostering an unexpected trust. The walls that once kept them apart seem to disintegrate, replaced by a tapestry of music and stories. As the night closes, the echoes of their voices linger, a testament to their resilience and the possibility of change, a powerful reminder that, together, they are redefining what it means to belong. Chapter 13. Seeds of Change, a New Era. As the sun rises over Harmony Correctional Facility, a sense of anticipation fills the air. Inmates prepare for their upcoming releases, each grappling with a mix of excitement and trepidation about life beyond the walls. Diary entries reveal their hopes for the future. Ike dreams of sharing his music with the world, while Luna envisions using her education to uplift other women facing similar struggles. MJ reflects on his transformation from a gang leader to a mentor, desiring to continue guiding others in his community. Charlie Chapp expresses a humorous yet poignant realization that the life lessons learned in prison will forever shape his outlook. Together, they gather for a final reflection, sharing gratitude for the bonds forged within these walls. Their stories of resilience echo throughout the facility, planting the seeds of change in the hearts of their fellow inmates. With every word, they ignite hope, not just for themselves, but for everyone still fighting for redemption.